Hey y'all, Joe here, St. Bernard Acres. Trying something new here, doing a little voiceover on a video. I've never done this before, so I get to experiment now. the This video I shot the weekend I spent out at the cabin. If you remember, I had talked about this is Sunday morning, and I wanted to make breakfast burritos. But I had left the batteries for my camera at home. And Gail had to go to Columbus to the airport to pick up Alex. Our son, had gone on a cruise to the Bahamas with some friends of his. So what I had her do was stop by, drop off the batteries for me so I could use my camera. And then she was going to go pick up Alex, and then they were going to stop by for some breakfast burritos. It'd be about noon before they would get back, but we'd have some brunch. Turns out on the way home, Alex wasn't feeling much like breakfast with, getting in so late last night and then up early this morning for a flight. So he just wanted to go on home. So it was no problem. My neighbor and another friend of ours that lives about a mile away, and another guy we hadn't met. I mean, we just all met, and they rode their four-wheelers over, and we all had some burritos and sat around the fire bull crabbing with each other. So it all worked out all right in the end. But I wanted to show you how I made my burritos. And it's like I did the whole video, my typical video with all my talking and stories and, all that kind of crap. But what I didn't realize or didn't think about was the whole time I was doing the video, my phone was, I have a Bose speaker out there, it's Bluetooth, and my phone was connected to it, and I was listening to my music. Well, guess what? That's what's all over that video. And YouTube doesn't like that. And there were so many different songs that it played. So it's not like I could, I couldn't figure out how to do it and not get copyright strikes from YouTube. I couldn't monetize. My first thought I told Gail when I realized what I'd done, well, I just won't monetize this and I won't even have to worry about it. Well, it doesn't matter whether it's monetized or not. You can't have somebody else's music in your video. The way I was understanding what they said. So I'm doing a voiceover so I can mute everything out. And I can at least show you a little bit about how I did my breakfast that morning. And I'll, play some music in the background, a little bit of it, YouTube provided music. But I'm sorry I wasn't able to do the video like normal. But we'll see what you think about this. Maybe this works out better sometimes. I don't know. But let me try to get all the timing down and get everything in place, and we'll see what happens here. So I've got the fire started. Waiting on it to get some good hot coals that I can cook off of. And I was like just talking about what I'm doing and the whole trip and everything, and some nice jazz, Grover Washington Jr. playing in the background. I recommend that to anybody. He did a album back in around 1975 or so called Mr. Magic. And not to date myself, but my CB handle back then was the Magic Man. And I love that album, Mr. Magic. Used to go home after work all stressed out and light up a cigarette and throw that on and listen to a track called It Feels So Good. Not to be confused with Chuck Mangioni's Feels So Good. This is Grover Washington Jr. If you like smooth jazz, he's the master of it, I'm telling you. Take a listen to it. But I was just kind of showing around St. Bernard Acres Saturday morning. Like I said, after I got the fire started and waiting on some good coals to get produced. So I'll be back. I have a couple of peppers from our yard, from our garden at home, and an onion that I'll be chopping up. And my dogs are going crazy out on the porch right now, so out on the front deck. So you'll get to listen to them instead of I happen to listen to the sound on this part of the clip. I was listening to Bad Company, Shooting Star. So you unfortunately you don't get to hear me singing along as I'm cutting these peppers and onion chopping this stuff up. But maybe it's better that way for you anyway. But all I use, because Alex is like really a picky eater. He doesn't like a lot of stuff. So I can't like go crazy when I'm cooking when he's going to be eating it. So all I used was the green pepper, that orange pepper. I really like the taste of those. And a small amount of onion. I didn't use too much onion because if Alex saw them, he'd be like, oh no, I can't eat this. If he can't see them, they're okay. So I had to cook them translucent, if you will. But this was just prepping everything and talking and listening to music. So I took my time doing this. I'm going to speed up the clip so y'all don't have to watch all of this. But I'm going to keep on getting things prepared. Well, as you can see, I've got a nice bed of coals going. It's good and hot fire. And I'm going to heat up my skillet, add a little bit of oil to it. Spill the oil. Unfortunately, some of the smoke, well, you know how smoke and a fire at a campsite goes. Wherever you are, the smoke is. So it doesn't matter the direction the wind is blowing. It's going to blow that smoke right up in. I got it blown up in my face several times while I was stirring this stuff. But letting my skillet heat up. So I got a hot skillet now. And I'm going to pour my peppers and onions. Scrape that into my cast iron skillet. I really like that. It's probably my favorite of the cast iron skillets that I have out at St. Bernard Acres that I use. And I'll get that to cooking, and I'm going to put the sausage to cook with it because the sausage takes a while to cook. Because while the sausage is cooking, it will also cook the peppers, get them just right, and the onions just right. Cook it all at once. You can use any kind of sausage. You can use any kind of peppers you want. I've just bought some Bob Evans sausage because that's okay with Alex. I prefer to add some chorizo sausage in with my burritos, but Alex doesn't care. But Gail actually doesn't care much for it. So I was cooking this thinking I was cooking for Gail and Alex. I wish I had known I was cooking for me because I'd have sure done things a little bit differently. But I'm going to go ahead and add my sausage to it now and get it chopped up kind of fine and just let it cook away. I mean, it doesn't take long. It does help to keep stirring it. Keep moving that oil around because you can't ever get, just setting it on the fire, on the logs, you can't ever get it like perfectly level, the skillet. So I wound up doing a lot of just moving things around to make it work. But I didn't mind it. There goes my sausage. Plenty of sausage. I mean, the guys that came over, we were sitting around eating, they had no complaints. They thought it was really good. And it did. It turned out great. And it's a fun way to cook. Fun way to do it. That's the first time I had done this over a campfire. to try to cook something like this. So it's going to be more fun. I'm going to be cooking more and more stuff. Gail and I had been planning all week. It is finally, I'm doing this now. This is like Thursday. This weekend, it's all cool. Everything, the heat wave's finally over. And Gail and I had planned on going out Friday night and spending the weekend out at the cabin. But no, once again, I have to work. I'll be putting in, 8 or 10 hours Saturday. So there goes the weekend. Uh, as far as getting ready to spend the weekend out there again. I am going to go out Sunday and do some work. I got a problem with mice inside the cabin. So I'm going to completely empty that. I put a lot of stuff in there, but we're going to empty it out. And I'm not going to store anything else in there until I get it all figured out. And let me go get my dogs in the house because they're getting a little crazy. Alright, got the dogs shagged in. Got Gail she called right as I was getting ready to pause it to get the dogs in. It's weird doing this voiceover stuff. I mean, it was nice and quiet. And as soon as I started doing it, dogs are barking, people going up and down the street, somebody fired up a motorcycle behind us. It's hard to do and keep it all quiet. But I cooked this, I'll let you know, for probably 45 minutes. A nice slow cook. I removed it from the direct heat and just let the cast iron do its magic. Because I didn't want anything to burn, I didn't want anything to stick. It all just turned out great. I mean, it got the peppers nice and soft and the translucent onions. I watch cooking shows, so I know about translucent. But I just cooked it and took my time and enjoyed a cup of coffee and, again, listening to music the whole time. So, unfortunately, you don't get to do that. Alright, so now I just got to get my flour tortillas out. If I'd wanted to, I could have thrown these over the fire for a little bit and warmed them up. But they were fine just the way they were once I got them out of the package. Everything was cooked. Showing off my iPhone 4. That was what I started this channel with, was the old iPhone there. I use it now. It's got all my Apple music on it that I bought from Apple. That's what I use as my MP3 player now. Just because it's handy. And the thing is like new. I just, moved up to the 5, then the 6. Now I got, the Samsung Galaxy. So, just pour some in your tortilla. Look at that smoking. It was so hot. Just off the fire. It was perfect. And grab some cheese, because I forgot to get my cheese ready. I had shredded up some cheese at home. Bring along. Oh, it was so good. That's why I have a little more while I'm at it. Roll it up a little. Fold that baby over. Oh yeah, that was very tasty indeed. Wish y'all could have had some of it. But we all enjoyed it. And I'm going to go now. I mean, we cleaned that up. I threw a little bit out for the wildlife out there. And got everything washed up and headed home. Hope you enjoyed this little video and experiment with the voiceover. And if you like this, comment, share, do all that kind of stuff. And I'll talk to you on the next video. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm out.